For many people, forgiving someone who's hurt them is one of the hardest things to do. It seems that long-held hostility and resentment are constantly tearing people apart. So the question then becomes, by holding onto a grudge, who are you really hurting? According to Terry Trespicio, a senior editor at Body and Soul magazine, the answer is you, me, if I'm holding the grudge,
Absolutely.
right? Mm-hmm. And welcome, Terry. It's great to have you back.
Thanks
You look great.
Thank you.
You look really great. When we harbor ill feelings towards someone, how does that affect our well-being?
It takes a tremendous toll on your mental and physical health. As my mother always said to me, hate destroys the hater. So when you're holding on to that, it's not doing you much good. In fact, one study showed, they looked at the physiological effects of grudges on participants. And one group had to look at and think about someone who'd hurt them. And when they did, their blood pressure surged, their eyebrows tensed, and then when they focused on thoughts of forgiving this real-life offender, it dropped, and they had a comparatively lower stress response and a greater sense of control in their lives.
That doesn't mean that if somebody hurts you and you then really have this grudge against them, that you have to like that person.
No, absolutely not.
And you don't have to be their friend.
You don't even need to talk to them again.
Ever again, right?
No.
Okay.
In fact, I had a good question about that. I asked one of the big researchers in this field, Mike McCullough, do I have to see someone to forgive them again, or can I forgive them and move on? And he said, don't confuse forgiveness with reconciliation.
Yes.
So forgiveness, you can forgive someone, never see them, and just
that
let
makes me
go
feel
of it.
so much better.
Doesn't that make it better? Sometimes it's not in your best interest to, if they did something wrong, there may be a reason why that relationship is not going forward.
Right.
So
should we just forgive anybody for anything?
Yes, but again, we have to remember that forgiveness is about our choice to let go of something that's happened to us. Reconciliation would be the decision to patch up the relationship, which may not often be the case, but there's nothing worth hanging on to in the long run, period.
Right. And we have somebody in the audience, I understand, who's had a hard time forgiving somebody. Who's that?
Yes, that's Janice.
Oh, hi, Janice.
Hi, Martha.
So can you tell us why? What happened?
I had this friend in graduate school who set me up with this guy. We really hit it off, had a great time together, and then come to find out he had a girlfriend, and she knew about it all along. She knew about it when we set it up. I've never been able to forgive her for this.
Why don't you hate him?
Well,
I mean, instead of
him
her.
Him too, but that was the betrayal.
Oh.
It was a good friend who,
Right. Well,
set
maybe
me
she
up.
thought that you were just gonna. I could go on and on here. Maybe she thought that you were just so much more attractive than the woman he was going out with, and that you would be a much better matched.
That's exactly, well, maybe not exactly what she thought, but she did want them to break up. She thought I would be the tool.
in
She
her
used
game.
me, yes. So how do I forgive someone for that?
Do you have maybe some